Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is the latest and the greatest phone from Samsung. Here's a quick video on this. So let's start from the design. The design is very impressive. It is made out of metal and glass body and it looks and feels very premium. This is a very boxy phone design wise but still is very comfortable to hold. This phone comes in 3 color variants: black, white and gold, and this one I have is the gold one, and Samsung is calling this the Mystic Bronze, and this one is my favorite. It's because it has a matte finish and collects no fingerprints at all, which is the best feature. The camera bump is really big, and if you do not like this, then there's that, and I will be covering the camera part later in the video. On the front side of the phone there is a huge 6.9-inch dynamic AMOLED display and a tiny camera hole, and this has to be the best display in a smartphone as of right now. The display do not disappoint me at all. The colors are great and it's really bright with 1200 nits, and it has all the great features that you expect from a Samsung phone. So inside this camera bump we have 3 rear cameras, and the primary lens is of 108 megapixel, the ultra wide lens is of 12 megapixel, and a telephoto lens of 12 megapixel. With the limited time of me with this phone, I cannot fully test how the camera is, but with a few sample pictures I took, this looks promising. And the main attractive feature of this phone is that it can shoot up to 8K video resolution. 8K on a smartphone, that's impressive. But who really shoots at 8K anyway? Who has a 8K display lying around? So 8K is a great feature to have for future proof, but don't buy this phone just for that 8K. Other than 8K, it can shoot at 4K also up to 60 frames per second, and 1080p up to 240 frames per second. And 240 frames per second is still not slow enough for you. This can also shoot at 960 frames per second, but at 720p. The front camera is 10 megapixel, which takes a really great selfies, and it can also shoot up to 4K resolution. Let's talk about the performance. Samsung always launches 2 variants, one Snapdragon and one Exynos. Sadly here only Exynos version is available, so this phone is rocking Exynos 990. This phone smoothly handles daily tasks like opening and closing apps and multitasking, but comparing with the Snapdragon version, the Exynos variant is slower like 20 to 30%. And the first thing I noticed about this phone when I used this for a few minutes was the heating issue. The phone doesn't heat uncomfortably, but it does get warm when used for a few minutes. I heard that Snapdragon 865 Plus version do not do that. This has 8GB of RAM and is available up to 512GB of internal storage, and it also supports a microSD card. As previous Samsung flagships, it also has an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor underneath the display, Samsung DeX and all. This has got a 45 mAh battery, and it comes with a 25-watt fast charger in the box, and it also supports Qi wireless charging. So I guess this is all what I have to say about this phone, and this video was made on the spot with a very tight schedule, so a lot of things might have missed. I will try to cover all those things on upcoming videos, so till then, peace out. Stay tuned. Subscribe.